So this is my presentation on Max Weber and Karl Marx's comparisons and similarities for Sociology 290, which is about social theorists. So I'll be introducing on Max Weber's backgrounds and works. He was born April 21st, 1864 in Erfurt, Germany. His theories were focused on the development of modern Western society. He was a German social theorist best known for Protestant ethic and the spirit of capitalism. So we'll be discussing about how Max Weber's Protestant ethnic and spirit of capitalism. It focuses on Protestants and Calvinists, a religious sects on Christianity who believed that working was a way to atone for sin. This also changed how work dynamics functions, as Protestants would choose to save and not spend carelessly at work instead of rest. This idea also believed by Weber to pave way for the Industrial Revolution and development of Western society. So this is on Karl Marx's backgrounds and works. He was born May 5th, 1818, in Trier Kingdom of Prussia, located in Germany today. He was a German philosopher. He was a political and social theorist whose works focused solely on capitalism and its historical development well beyond. He's a German social theorist known for the Communist Manifesto. So we'll be discussing about his background and works. The Communist Manifesto discusses how social conflicts caused the collapse of society through revolution and new forms of power and rebuilt society. He discusses the proletariat, who are workers, and the bourgeoisie, the capitalist class of people who bring influence to goods and services. Classes are meant to struggle and clash with each other for change, which is often historical in fact to bring in new changes that benefit workers. So we'll be now discussing on Max Weber's influences and how it affects the present. Max Weber's work describes in detail how Protestantism and Calvinism brought change to the Western world in terms of development and stigma of working to be judged and forgiven for their sins. This led to rapid development of production, technology, and innovation which improved society economically and socially. This also led to the financial development for people who took part in the development of capitalism. Other groups of Christian sects, such as Catholicism, later joined in the development. Though capitalism has stagnated today, his works are relevant in the historical development of capitalism due to religious influence. Now we'll be discussing Karl Marx's influence in present. Karl Marx's works are considered to be controversial, as many depict his work to promote socialism and communism, which is seen as anti capitalist. However, his works detail the collapses of societies which are rebuilt with the same ideas and values in mind, with some new ones to find stability in a new era. His works detail how workers are able to improve and change the way the world works, along with the influence of the bourgeoisie. Though they are less impacted to revolutionary change, workers tend to suffer temporarily with the shifts of power. His works are influential to communists in China, former Soviet Union, which is now Russia today, and other countries in Asia in pursuit of an ideal world for workers in being educated, healthy, and provided shelter in exchange for labor. So now we'll be discussing their comparisons and differences in their works and influences. Both of their works focused heavily on capitalism. Max Weber introduced the development of capitalism, while Karl Marx focuses on the collapse of capitalism. Say, when time goes on, the bourgeoisie would often influence these kinds of trends, and workers would end up to the point where they no longer want to work, and it causes revolution, tending to put these societies to break apart and later be rebuilt. Max Weber's believed that religion set the motion in stone in Western social development and innovation, while Karl Marx believed the capitalist class and workers are meant to struggle and clash against social classes, which leads to the collapse of society. Max Weber focused on the religious and social development of capitalism, while Karl Marx focuses on the internal conflicts in society between workers and the bourgeoisie, which later rebuilds into one much more advanced than the previous in terms of social structure. And now we'll be comparing on present day influence on society. Max Weber's works are relative to modern and financial developments and innovations of capitalism, while Karl Marx focuses on the social, political, and economical areas of capitalism. Such examples of Max Weber's would be the production of goods and services and moral developments to work and save. An example of Karl Marx would be communism, how these governments heavily regulate their people but offer economic liberty in China, for example. China struggled in education, its economy, and health, which rapidly changed due to the adoption of communism in politics that led to the collapse of a capitalistic society, though led to a rapid economic growth and social development for its people. Yet it has changed over time. China promotes a capitalistic free market, though its government remains communist as it is controlled by a one party known as the Chinese Communist Party. And these are my references.